Let's continue with that theme that Ziyanda tells us about in terms of the history of the reed dance, and we also talk about the significance of it in modern day South Africa. We're joined by Dr Gugu Mazibuko, a cultural expert and UKZN senior lecturer. Thank you very much, Ma, for availing yourself this morning. Let's start with the teaching moment and take us back to what we need to understand about the history of the reed dance.
Thank you very much. Good morning, and thank you very much for having me this morning.
What is the history of the reed dance?
The reed dance is one of the old ceremonies that began during the time of King Solomon. And then as time passes by, this ceremony was revived in 1984 by the late King Misuzulu Zulu, together with the Queen, the late Queen Madlamini Mantombi Zulu. This is one of the most important ceremony, especially in laying a good foundation for good families in the nation, because it instills the self-respect, integrity, as well as the preservation of virginity amongst the maidens.
What sort of ceremony is there, right, that goes hand in hand with the reed dance that instills these values in young women that we see instilling the same values, if not similar, in young boys in our communities? Okay.
Well, let me say this. When it comes to the boys, they only participate when the king is gathering a new regiment. They all gather in the royal palace, and then the king will name that regiment. But however, there is nothing that is similar to the reed dance for boys.
Fair enough. But in terms of, instilling these values of being a virtuous young person, the building of strong families, like you have noted, we are a country that struggles with gender-based violence. So I do wonder whether we have enough programs that speak to young boys that can also take them along, right? And not just the girl child, but also focus on the boy child.
Yes, as I have mentioned before, there are few programs for boys, but what I'm happy about is that the Queen Gamaisela, the wife of King Misuzulu's foundation that she started, it's going to focus on boys. Therefore, there will be parallel interventions for both boys and girls.
Does the reed dance have space in modern day South Africa?
Yes, it has. It has a lot of space because no matter where the girls they are, but what is key is the pride of every Zulu girl to remain a virgin. Therefore, even nowadays, the girls are excited, no matter whether they are in high schools or in tertiary institutions, but they always look forward to the reed dance, because that's when they get that affirmation that they are still virgins. And also, what is more important with the reed dance is that before the actual ceremony, the girls, they go through virginity testing in their regions, of which they are very comfortable and they do it voluntarily. So when they get to the reed dance, they are excited to fetch the reed, because the reed is connected to the African communities. There is a strong connection between AmaZulu and the reed. That is why we are called Singabohlanga, and also the king is called Umkhosi Womhlanga. So it connects to the nature. Therefore, even nowadays, you could see the girls, how excited they are at Enyokeni traditional palace, as well as how you can even listen to the songs that they sing, because they send the message to everyone that this is what we feel, this is what we believe in. This morning they've been singing a song, Ngizophumelela ngiseyintombi nto, which shows the pride and confidence of the girls and what they are looking for, that they will succeed while they are still virgins. So even nowadays, girls are looking forward to the reed dance, because they know that abstinence is key, remaining a virgin is very important, as well as it also protects them from getting HIV and AIDS, as well as getting pregnant at an early stage.
You speak of the significance of the reed. What of the significance of some of the attires that the maidens wear?
Oh, maybe, it's very important also to note that when you see the attire that they wear, it's different, because there are four different group of maidens. They are the young girls that we call amachichi, and their attire is different because it's for younger girls. So you could see that, and everything that they are wearing is a bit shorter, and it also reveals their breast. And then there's also the second group, which is called amakriza. And amakriza are those girls who have started dating, but remember, they are still virgins. And they are also, their attire is also different. There is also izingodus, whose lobola have been paid, but they are also still there because they are still virgins. And then there are also izinkehli, the ones who are about to get married, but they are also there. So each attire differs per category.
And you were talking about the songs, Ma. The one song that you referred to that says, you know, Sizo Ziqhenya ngokuba amajiji. But what other songs are maybe sang, and are these songs that have been passed down from one generation to the next?
Yes. There is one song that is key in the reed dance ceremony that says Umhlanga ubikwe ngenkomo. You know, it's because there is a slaughtering, of cattle when the reed dance is taking place. Girls are looking forward because the king has already told, the ancestors have already reported that the girls are coming to the palace for the reed dance. But there is a very exciting, a song that the girls sang when the grant, child grant started, because the maidens were very angry that we are being tested as virgins, and yet the government is attracting us with a grant for children to have babies because the government will pay us. So you could listen and analyze all the songs that the maiden sings there, because sometimes they complain about what is happening. When the government started this grant, they created a song that talks to that, because each year there are different songs, but there are key songs that are sung because they are the main amahubo for maidens that were sung long time ago when the ceremony began. So, and therefore songs, they tell a lot of stories.
And we are seeing visuals from KwaZulu-Natal of some of the young maidens. They are accompanied by some of the elderly women or mama bahamba nabo. In terms of when they get tested for their virginity at their various regions before they would then gather today for the main event, what is it that some of labo mama would have told them?
Those mama are called onomehlo. Those mothers, they are like, I cannot say they are the mentors, but they are their leaders, because they take them through. It's not only about virginity testing, but there are classes that they go through. In fact, those mothers, they also have their own workshops where they are being workshopped on dealing with these maidens. And after those workshops, they go back to their regions and they have classes with those girls. They prepare them emotionally and psychologically and all other ways. In fact, they even the girls, they are very much open to these mothers. They are like their own mothers. Sometimes they won't report the things that are not they are not comfortable with in their families or in their teachers, but they report these things in these leaders onomehlo, because they trust them in everything. And the choice of these mothers is very good, because they also look at what kind of person is this one. Can she deal with confidential matters, because there are confidential issues when dealing with virginity testing. Therefore, these are the real mothers, and they accompany the girls. They look after the girls, even at Enyokeni Royal Palace, and also Emathobeni, of course.
I guess again, Mhlambe, that's the reason for the question in the beginning of the conversation, right? In terms of the training and the workshops that young boys also go through, for the emotional training that these girls will also go through, and the emotional support that they will be provided. But we've also seen another reed dance taking place in Eswatini that took place from the 30th of August to the 5th of September. What's the difference between the two?
There is not so much difference. Remember, in the beginning of this conversation, I mentioned that when the late king revived the ceremony, he did it together with the Queen Mantombi, because remember, we are all the Ngunis with Amaswati. So there might be quite very little differences between the two ceremonies. That is why when we have reed dance this side, they come to us, and we also go to Eswatini to see their reed dance and also participate. There is slightly difference in terms of even the traditional attire, because you know, Bona, they wear amapai, and then this other side we wear mostly ubuhlalo. Bona, their attire is slightly different, especially for girls, but not so much difference.
So we've spoken about the reed, we've spoken about the singing, we've spoken about the attire that the maidens wear. What about the dancing, Noma Ugia or Ruksina? What is the significance of that?
You know, one thing I can say about the Ugia and Ugusina is that every song or every ihubo lamazulu, there is the rhythm and the rhyme, and therefore there is a certain pattern that is being followed. I mean, but the main reason why we dance, why we we sing, why we gear. It's because we feel the music, we feel the amahubo, and then we do it in a certain pattern or in a certain manner. You can even see, even when they perform traditional dance, that there is a certain pattern. If it's 1-2-1, it's 1-2-1, but mainly for enjoying and also for entertaining, because we never had any entertainment in the past except singing, dancing, chanting, you name it. So it's our life and it's part of our living heritage.
On this reed that will then be presented to the king, it is said that if the reed breaks, then it means that something is wrong there. Is there a spiritual connotation to this, or can we also take a look at the fact that there might just be a weak reed and then it just breaks, or is it more complicated than that?
Well, there are things that are being told. I have to be honest, that some of them I've never witnessed. However, as I mentioned before, the reed, there's a very strong connection between us as AmaZulu and the reed, because, okay, the reed is sacred amongst AmaZulu, as I've mentioned. So the reed is very, it's a fragile kind of, what do I call it? Is it grass or what? But it is very fragile, right? So girls are compared to the reed because virginity is one of sacred values. So reed will break easily if not well handled. Same as the girls. If the girls' virginity breaks easily within seconds, so therefore it is very sacred that reed is used, because in our history we were told that we came from the Great Lakes where there were big rivers with reeds. So that's where we came from, and therefore we are connected to nature. So we are connected to the reed because that is where we came from. However, the theory that says if you are not a virgin, your reed will break, I cannot confirm that one, because no maiden go to the palace and take the reed and present it to the king without being tested before. Remember, I said Onomehlo, they accompany the girls, so they are with them throughout. So there is no girl that can come from nowhere and take the reed and present it to the king.
Thank you very much for that very insightful teaching moment and letting us know about also the different kind of maidens that there are. There are 4 maidens, amachichi, amachigiza, izingoduso, ne izinkehli. We'll continue to ventilate on what each one represents. Thank you very much, Doc, for availing yourself this morning. Dr. Gugu Mazibuko.